Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I have a lot of I's, but I also have the blank. I would have infinite through an N or an E. I'm not seeing a 7 with this rack. If opponent changes his tiles, I could play Finny, which would sort out the I preponderance that I currently have. Well, no N or E for infinite. What about these tiles? And I can see immediately that I have the ING ending. But is there a bingo with these tiles? The fourth I is unlikely to be helpful, but the R also looks useful. So I think I will go through the alphabet, keeping in mind R and G. That's the anti-prefix. The IC ending. Not seeing anything here. That would be ING without using the G on the board. Would be a shame to miss a bingo on this opening move. But I'm not seeing anything so far, and it's not looking promising. How about this S? Nope, not seeing anything there. That's the un and uni prefix. Fixiting not good. Infixing is, but that doesn't use the T. Infinity through an N. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything. I can play Finny down here for 17. I could also play it making frig. I hope I'm not missing a 7. That would play in row F. I'm going with, wow, am I going with this? Yes, I am. That is a much better looking rack. I have paylist and prig, and paylist and Finny, so I should be bingoing here. That also plays in column 10, making ifs and git. Wow, fantastic double for my opponent. Where's the best lane? Well, I can get doubled in column 11 if I can find a bingo through the E. And that looks promising. I have tile eyes. Should I spend further looking for a better word? I don't think so. So tile eyes for 74. I draw the Z. But apart from that, this is an unbalanced rack. I have only one vowel. So I'll be looking to play off a bunch of consonants and try and score well. It's not a priority to play the Z, because I'd be quite happy to see that on my rack next turn. But what I want to do is clear out a bunch of DH, P and R. There are available vowels on the board, but they're not next to premium squares. So if I played down column 5, it would just be face value and wouldn't score very much. Tile eyes takes a D, which I have, but I don't have a vowel for going underneath the S. What about a play coming over from the left ending AD? Well, I think the best I can do there is sad, which burns the S. Now, opponent has provided some new floating vowels, and in particular the O is within reach of a double word square. However, what I'm thinking about doing is playing Zap for the score, 32 points. Am I missing something better? Can I get my Z next to this Y? I could play Hip in that spot, keeping the Z. Only 19 points, so I think Zap is better, although that does set up a decent scoring opportunity in column 8. I'm just wondering if I can get the Z next to the O, but that's dangerous in its own way because of D's and A's. I don't have anything down from the N, nothing across from the L. So what I could do is play Zap down here. This is harder. It's not creating the sort of opportunity which column 8 was providing as a consequence of Zap in column 6. 35 points is a decent score. Although this is a consonant-heavy leave, there's a degree of synergy going on. So I'm going with this. Still just the one vowel, but I have a slender lead. And that one vowel can be significant. It can be make all the difference between playing and changing. I have Vox and Zax, which would be quite handy. Wow, fantastic bingo by opponent, 70 points. He now leads by 50. So what I was thinking of doing was this. Vox for 45, decent score, decent rack leave. And I'm quite happy to leave these floaters in Malodas alone since I trail. Am I missing a better spot? Well, I might be. That's 45. What's this? 48, and I think I will go with this because Vox wasn't really creating anything down at the bottom. Zax doesn't take any hooks, so it was closing down the bottom. So I think I'll play Vox at the top. Still just one vowel. Sometimes you can have a run of games where it appears that you are suffering from a solitary vowel, but there's an awful lot of things you can suffer from in Scrabble, so it is just variance. And it's important not to let it influence your play by overreacting to something which appears to be happening disproportionately often. So this is actually quite a nice rack, apart from its imbalance. All of the tiles are bingo-y. I don't think I have a bingo through the A. So opponent's got a 20-point lead. What can I do to score well here? And my H is my scoring tile. I don't really want to block bingo lanes. And I'd quite like to leave 3 consonants rather than 4. So a play of mind would leave HRST, running the risk of having a solitary vowel again. But if I could play hind somewhere, all 4 tiles, that would leave just 3 tiles on my rack. And, well, it's quite risky, but I can do it here. Hind for 30, setting up, forking the board, and with such a good rack leave, and with the floating A over here, I think this is a reasonable thing to do. What about a play which sticks the D on the end of tile eyes? I don't see anything there. So, what do I have now? No E, which makes it harder to find a bingo. But the board is wide open. I would have Goadster through an E. Another bingo by opponent. He is on fire. So what to do here? I trail by a bingo, so I want to keep bingo lanes open. I can play dog, keeping star. 23 points, that's not actually particularly fantastic. Can I do any better? And I'm not creating... Well, I am creating new lanes, but they're not... It's just the poor score. However, the rack leave is good. I think I will go with this. That is more like it. There is surely a bingo here. I have a street on my rack. Do I have... Well, that plays in row M, making Shah and it. Do I have anything top left? So I have an unblockable bingo. Well, I don't need to worry about that because I do have S Street in row M. Is that the best lane? 12 minutes on my clock. I think it is. So I can play S Street for 78. A play ending ATE or ETE would score slightly more. Do I have such a play? What are the anagrams of S Street? Restate, that works. Restate for 78. Onto a D, I would have filleted. I trail by 16. Suddenly the board is short on bingo lanes. Column 13 may be the best one, either beginning next to the I, N or PE. I don't have a 7 with this rack. Okay, opponent obstructs that lane but doesn't destroy it because bingos can still start to the right of PE. That's 28 points. 14 tiles still to come, including 3 U's and a Q. If I can put together a few big scores, I may not need a bingo. So, what do I have? I have FE here for 31 points, which is a good score. The duplicate L not great, especially with 1 to come. But I'm not blocking bingo lanes. I could play Elf in column 6, which would play off the extra L. So this is 31. Let me consider Elf. That's 21. 10 points to jettison the extra L. Is that worth doing? Well, it's worth at least 5. But am I gifting my opponent an opportunity to score in row A? Maybe a play ending QUE. So Basque could be playable in that spot. Let me pause. I still have got 10 minutes, so I've got plenty of time. Is there a way to play off F and L and score well? I could play Delph and La. Well, that's not going to score very much. What about a play making Neff? Not seeing one. I could play Riff, but that's the same problem. It keeps double L. Woody takes nothing in front. There's just a... It's all very well trying to get a bingo-y rack leave, but there aren't many bingo lanes. There's just column 13, so maybe... Tricky. I'm thinking I'm going with the score. 31 points, given the shortage of bingo lanes. And I draw just vowels. Now the M is also available as a floater. Does that assist? I don't think so. 48 points for opponent. Wow, he did have the Q. And that's a good score. And he's now 60 points in the lead, with 8 tiles in the bag and 5 vowels out of 15. So, how to sort this rack out? I could play male for 23, and that's quite a nice rack leave. There is this bingo lane, there is the M, which goes sort of okay with this rack leave, and there's also row N as a bingo lane for a 3-tile overlap, perhaps less useful, although EST words do play. I'm going with this. Is there a better play? I think there is, because I think Moyle is going to be better in terms of Rackley, the A better than the O. Moyle for 23. I have Blanket, Peb not good, and it doesn't play in row N. Are there any other lanes I've overlooked for Blanket? I don't think so. Co is good. Wow, 28 points for opponent, so I'm still a bingo behind. There are 2 tiles in the bag. Tempting to play off the K here, although it doesn't take anything in front, but there are still 2 bingo lanes in rows N and column 13. Can I score any more than 16 points with my K? I think the K is the tile which has to go. Well, there's neck, but I don't have the S, and opponent probably does. Wow, look at this, still 2 U's and a W. Would be great if I can dodge all of those. So, is this the best spot for my K? I think it is. Well, I don't dodge them, I draw the W. So I think that's probably game over for me in terms of winning chances. No floaters, and I'm not seeing a 7 with this rack. Good score for opponent. He's now gone through the 450 mark. So I can see what he's got. Does he have an out in 1 that I need to block? I don't think so. So where can I play my W and B and score? Well, I've got WAB down here, which will score quite well, 39 points. And then I would have Lent next turn underneath RE. And Lent and Pell. So I'm going with this. Shawl is good, but that doesn't assist me or my opponent. So Lent in column 13 for 10, and Lent in row N for 14. One of those will certainly play. Do I have any other options? Dog takes an E. I can't see anything through AR with an E after it. Those are the tiles in Learnt. So opponent, I don't think, can go out with these tiles, and I don't think he can score massively either. Just looking to see if I have a play in row C, and I don't. It would need to end AX, and I don't have such a play. So 40 points between us, but that's an unbridgeable margin. Opponent is going to win this game. Just looking to see if I have anything in column 6 through the D, and I don't. Opponent plays 18 points. I have Lent for 14. And final score, 432 for me, 476 for opponent, a winning margin of 44 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first. No bingo there. Plays rig. Phew, no missed bingo here. And Finney, F8. Finney and Frigg for 17. And I got the same score playing down here. And I think I prefer this spot. Great rack for opponent. He has a double-double in Aranites. Now I have Tyalize, which doesn't appear here. Epistacy, H12. Okay, that's running through the S and getting the Y doubled, so that's 82 points. And I got 8 fewer with Tyalize. Not a great rack for opponent. Plays Agora. Wow, sharp, L11. Wow, look at that. tileizes SH and the P doubled, 49 points, fantastic. So I play Zap for 35, retaining the S, so not a massively inferior play, but I think Sharp probably would have been better. But look at this, great rack for opponent. He has a choice of bingos, plays Malodas. Now I have Vox for 48, which I think is fine. And at this point, just 3 points between us. And this is opponent's rack. He plays mine for 26, and I'm struggling with a vowel shortage. Wow! Sid for 50, L9. Wow, look at that. Vinny, tileized, and SH. That would have put me into a 20-point lead. Instead, I play Hind for 30, which is a decent score, but not as good as Sid. And look at that. Opponent has unvoiced. And he also had unvoice in column 13, so Hind didn't give him a bingo which was otherwise unplayable. My rack. And I played Dog for 23, which is okay. Similar score to others on offer here, and a decent rack leave. Opponent plays Woody, and now I do have a good rack. And I play Restate for 78, and his Street was the same score because it got the E doubled. And I trail by 16. Opponent plays Cried. Wow, Telefax, that's nice, onto AX. That would have been the play, I think. Instead I played FE for 31, just 3 fewer points, but I think, well, probably these rack leaves are fairly similar, IL and EILLT. Probably fairly similar, but on a board as choked as this one, a simple rack leave comparison doesn't tell the full story because it's really a case of what bingos actually play. Opponent's rack, and yeah, he would have had Hake, H-A-I-Q-U-E, if I had played Elf. He plays Quail, and this is an ominous moment because I trail by 60 and there are only 8 tiles in the bag. I play Moyle for 23. Opponent plays G-Hue. I have Blanket, nowhere for it, or so I think. G2, Beak. Well, that empties the bag. So I don't wish to do that. I wish to give myself one shot at bingoing, given that there are 2 lanes. Opponent plays Tubbs. And now I don't have a bingo. I trail by 70 points, and I play Wab for 39. Opponent does have an out, B6. Look at that, through the D. Elude, doesn't play it, plays Lee, and I have Lent for 14. So, what a game. That was quite tricky early on, and opponent got several bingos down, which put me under a significant amount of pressure. I tried to come back on a fairly tight board and with racks which nearly made bingos, but it wasn't to be, and my opponent deservedly ran out the winner, so well done once again to him. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.